Hey, hello. So sorry I'm late. And let's see. I did a class this morning and then decided to take a short nap at like 10:30 this morning and ended up oversleeping. So, I am really very sorry. And I'm here. I want to show you this journal though. So, inadvertently over the weekend because, uh, I never know whether I'm coming or going. Um, I ended up putting this together, but it's fine because I want to show you what I ended up doing here. So I actually need to hop on YouTube real quick. Hold on. All right. Okay. So sorry about this, guys. Can you guys hear me? All right. Before I get started, I want to make sure you guys can hear me because I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff about this journal. Let me see. So sorry about this, guys. Can you guys hear me? All right. Before I get started, I want to make sure you guys can hear me because I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff about this journal. All right. So hang on a second. I'm going to go ahead and test the sound really quick. So here's the story, and here's why I finished this. We're having the Art and Junk Journal retreat coming up soon, and I wanted to make something else that I could give away. Sorry for all the noise for my morning class this morning. Yeah, so I already have one giveaway up over there, and it's for my first version of this journal. And this time I was sitting in a meeting actually, and I just started to decide to put this stuff all together, and it has turned out so cute, except that I glued this. Oh, don't. I must have had a little extra glue right there. That is 100% okay. I got this. Okay. And so, these are the pockets that I was making last week. And the cover that I made, can't remember if I showed it to you guys already, but it's actually out of a soda box. And so anyway, it is actually quite possible that this was what I used for my presentation. So if you want to see how I put this particular one in together, then you can watch that. You can go sign up junkjournalretreat.com and sign up for a free ticket, and you will be able to watch this on May 6th through the retreat. So I'm sorry I stole our project. But I'm just teaching how to make the cover, and this is how the cover came out, and I'll show you what the inside looks like as well too. There's not really much in there. I guess I didn't really talk about this before I tied it back up. Well, I'll show you this. So in the beginning, I ended up putting a magnet on here, which does work, but it didn't really work as well as it had originally until I tied this together. So just in case, just a little sidebar in case you run into that problem. So, okay, so here's pocket number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I added another here and started decorating a little bit on the inside. So it's really fun. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right, so then I did some embellishments on the outside, and a lot of these things here, like this little ticket, was a ticket that my parents got on February. It's really fun. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Well, maybe it was. All right. So then I did some. Maybe it was just my dad, because it says February 16, 13, and so my mom passed in 2011. So this must have just been my dad. So I just found a whole bunch of really cool things that I could use for ephemera in my own stuff. Oh. So here's like a ticket to Knott's Berry Farm from 1994, and it looks like a Saturday matinee of Avenue Q on the 10th of January in 2010. So that's what I'm putting in here. The one thing that I didn't really anticipate is that these envelopes, because they're made of envelopes and because I covered them with cardstock, they are harder to open up. And so, you know, as much as it looks really nice to use cardstock for this, it might be better, you know, to either use regular paper or as much as it looks really nice, yeah, regular paper, or maybe just cardstock on one side, maybe the front or something like that. So anyway, I also added in some foliage, I guess you could say. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to show you in here. I'm sorry, I keep tying it and untying it. But what I wanted to show you is this. So this is super cool. It's a little sewing kit that my mom had, and it just has, you know, sewing stuff on the inside, and I thought it was a perfect color for this, and so I just tucked it in. But this is actually a tall pocket, so you can put, you know, other things inside of there. And then this tall pocket has a tag, and obviously you can put a lot more into these. This actually is also a pocket. Oh, I opened it the wrong way. I had it glued here. But at any rate, you can just leave it like this and leave it a tuck spot, actually. I think I might do that. So, and this is the back. So, and a lot of these were just things I had previously made. So, really, I pulled a lot of things that to tuck into the pockets that I just sort of had laying around and stuff. And so, let's see.
And a lot of these were just things I had previously made.
All right.
Really, I
So let's see what this looks like.
tuck into the pockets that I just sort of had
All right.
laying around and stuff. And so,
All right. Hello, my one person that's watching. I appreciate you. So, at any rate, I was using this to hold that closed, but I think the magnet will suffice just fine. Okay.
hello, my one person.
So what do we do now?
Appreciate you.
Since I finished that particular journal.
So, at any rate, I was using this.
I cannot remember how far we got in the project, but we can just do that again.
So what do we do
Let's
now?
see.
Since
Let me
I
go
finished
look
that
at
particular journal. So,
my videos and see what we ended up doing.
remember how far we got in the project, but we can just do that again.
We've had a few lessons in this, and
Let me go look at my videos
and let me go to my videos.
But we can just do that again. We've had a few lessons in this, and let me go look at
Oh, live videos. Okay, so
Let me go to my videos.
we've gotten to lesson 4 with the twitch, and with this one, oh, I guess. Okay.
Oh, live videos. Okay, so
All right, yeah. So
we've gotten to lesson 4 with the twitch, and with this
I
one,
think
oh, I guess
that we ended up doing.
Okay.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
okay. So
Let
all right,
you guys
yeah.
know
So
that
we've gotten to lesson 4 with the
And Cam.
twitch, and with this
I
one,
think
Just talking.
let you guys that
it's okay if
we
you cut
ended up
crooked on
doing.
these things.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
Everything doesn't have to.
So
be
it
perfect.
looks like what we
Because you
did
can
was we
always
did the
let you guys know.
it looks like we did the manila envelope, and we did
Let you guys.
some of these.
Yeah.
And so let's just pretend that I have that manila envelope.
Actually,
I
I
think
think
it
what we
probably
did
do
was we
somewhere.
did the
But
so that you've got
what we did was we started making the different envelope pockets. So let's go ahead and continue to do that. That way I actually have something to do
some
with
of
you
these.
guys.
And
Okay,
so
so
now
now
I've got this.
Let's just pretend
and
that
I have that
opens like that.
Now, one thing I want you to
So
do
these
is
videos
not
here
what we
are
did,
going
what
to
we did was
be
we started
this, yeah.
making the
This,
different-
these are
this
going to
got
be
come in
sort
really
of
handy. Excuse me. These are going to come in really handy.
I
for
want
when
to say
we want to
unofficial, and
put,
that isn't the word,
our ties in,
but
you know, like these ones here.
the word is
And these here. So,
the word actually is. This is going to be a more laid back version of this. So
the outside.
let's see. Close these up. All right.
The word actually is. This is going to be a more laid back version of
So yeah, this is going to be a much more laid back version of this because I'm actually teaching it formally, you know, in the Art and Junk Journal retreat. So I'm just going to go ahead and work this time. And if you guys want to watch it, you guys can
So yeah, this is gonna be
can
a
watch the
more laid
video
back
from
version
last
of this
week,
because I'm actually
or you
teaching
can get a ticket and it's free to the Art and Junk Journal retreat. And
in the
yeah.
In the Art and Junk Journal
join us
retreat.
there,
So
and
I'm
then
just
you'll
gonna
get
go
all
ahead
the
and work this time.
all the skinny.
And if you
Okay,
guys
but
wanna
for
watch it,
now,
you guys can
I'm gonna take.
can watch the video.
I have
from
a whole
last
bunch
week,
of really cool
or
envelopes.
You can get a ticket
So
and it's free to the Art and Junk Journal retreat. And
I think this is my folder from last time, and I think I was really just doing I really was just doing the cards. So far, this is the journal that I'm doing. And by the way, the retreat video isn't a manila envelope journal. It's actually just a it's actually using a soda cardboard box, you know, from canned soda, and it's much smaller. So,
by the way, the
you know,
retreat
by about an
video
inch.
isn't a manila envelope journal.
So,
Actually, just a
so far we have put in
it's actually
the signature
using a
and
soda
done the pamphlet stitch. This is a
soda,
4-hole
and
pamphlet
it's much
stitch.
smaller.
And let's see. And then we've installed all of the,
So far, we have put in
let's see. We've installed all of these
and done the pamphlet
ties
stitch. This is
to close it, all the closures. And I think the next thing that we need to do is to begin to make the face of the
so far we have put in
journal, which will consist of envelopes and that, but I think I'm going to do them in a different configuration so it doesn't just feel like I'm teaching the same thing every single time.
begin to make the face of the
So I think what I'll do here is I'll get the piece of cardstock that I'm going to glue over the top here so that this closure will close over it. And this size is, so I think what I'll do here is I'll get the piece of cardstock that I'm going to glue over the top here so that it's almost 6 inches, like 5 7/8 by 9. So yeah, I think I'll cut it 5 7/8 by 9, and then I might need to make a few more envelopes, so I'll just whip those up really quick when I need them. But again, if you want to see the envelopes that that I've made, this is one of them. You can go watch the video from last time. So I took a few pages out here,
but again,
of
if you want to
things
see the envelopes that
I thought
I've made, this is one of
but none of these are large enough, so let's find a piece of cardstock that will actually accommodate this size here. So this is interesting. What I've got here are some of these. Sorry for that noise. Some of these, and I think those will all look really good. But I would like to.
This is interesting. What I've got here are some of these.
Maybe this will work.
Sorry for that noise. Some of these, and I think
Okay, this
those will
isn't
all look
quite
really
big
good.
enough. All right, let me grab something.
But I would like to. This is interesting. What I've got here are some of these.
Maybe this will work.
Sorry for that noise. Some of these, and
All right. So I think I'll use this, and what will end up happening here is, so I'll cover this here like this. And don't worry if it's not, you know, exactly, like you can make one edge flush and then do one edge with ribbon, or I think I'll probably do this the opposite.
I'll use
So
this, and what will end up happening here is, so I'll cover this here like this, and don't worry.
I'm going to go ahead and cut this
Exactly. Like you can make one edge flush and then do one
about
edge
6 inches.
with ribbon, or I think I'll probably do this the opposite. So
And
what will end up happening here is, so I'll cover this here
let's see.
like this.
So that looks pretty good.
Go ahead and
It looks like it's going to have a little bit of overhang, which I can just cut off. Or instead, I can do something like this. So that
looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to have
Just go ahead and just cut that excess off real quick.
which I can just cut off. Or instead, I can do something like this.
And so this is a really important piece of this project, and I will show you why in just a moment. So we are not going to glue this down right away. We're just going to go ahead and make sure it's the right size, and then we're going to set aside our manila folder
And I will show you why
and any of these other things, and we're going to begin to add
So we are not going to glue this
our envelopes. So the way that's going to work is
make sure it's the right size, and then we're going to set aside our manila
we're just going to put these on the back side, like, you know, just put them right over this part, and we're going to do that over and over with
our envelopes.
various different sizes. And the reason is because we're going to glue all of this stuff down, and then all of the envelopes and this bottom piece will all be one unit, okay?
And we're going to do that
And when all of that is one unit,
with
then
various different sizes.
we can go ahead and glue
Is because we're going to glue
this
stuff down,
onto
and then all of the envelopes and
onto this.
bottom
And so
piece will all be one unit, okay?
I believe that I'm
When
just
all
going to
of that
make
is
like,
one unit, then
what is this?
various different sizes. We can go ahead and glue
Nope.
this onto
Sometimes it's really just hard to see where the
this.
envelopes open, and it looks like I probably
that I'm
did
just
this.
gonna make,
Oh,
like-
I know what I did. So last time when I was making this, I fixed the envelope, but I never did cut the top off. So that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and just cut
It's really just hard to see where
all the way to
the envelopes. And it looks like
where, almost where I started.
oh, I know.
And then here is
So last time
the
when I was
opening,
making this,
but
I fixed the envelope, but I never did cut the top off. So that's all right.
if you want to,
Go ahead and just
you can take some glue and glue this edge if you want. But you know what? Since I'm looking at this, I think this is really cool as a tuck. So maybe we're going to make layered tucks.
but I fixed the envelope.
And so now let's just put this for a little bit
You can take some glue and glue this edge if you want.
and then
But you know
start
Since I'm looking at this, I think
looking
this is really cool
at
as a tuck.
what we want to do for some of these other envelopes. So this is an envelope that can be used, so I think I will. This is also an envelope that can be used, so I think I will. And let me see if I can find one more of a different size. Maybe this one. So this one. Yeah. So what we're aiming for is
So this is an envelope that can be used, so I think I will.
2 on each side.
Also an
All right? 2 tucks on each side. So this one will be at the bottom. This one
one more of a different.
can be like right here, and then it'll go this one,
So what we're aiming for is
and then this one here. And this one is going to be like your focal point
this one will be at the bottom.
because it's
This
pretty.
one can be
And so, you know, you just arrange them how you want. You know, maybe I'll pull this one up and pull this one down so that we've got most of that covered, and then we can just sort of pop these on, you know, in various different ways so that they can showcase each other. And I may just do one more small pocket, just like a half pocket.
how you want.
But for now, we've got these envelopes,
And pull this one down.
and before I can decorate them, I'm going to need to
And then we can just
figure out, okay. So this one is going to open from
ways so
the
that they can
right
showcase
side,
each other.
right?
And I may just do
Open
one
to the
more
right.
small pocket.
So I want my flap
Now we've got
to
these
be on the right side. So these two are actually going to be on the right side. This one's going to be on the left, as well as this one here.
to open
So,
the
but before I do that,
open to the
I
right.
want to get these
I
to be
want
flush,
my flap to be on the right side.
so I can just cut
We're
maybe like
actually
an eighth of an
going to be on
inch
the right
off
side. This one's going to
these.
be on the left as well as this one. before I do that, I want the piece to be flush.
And that looks just fine. You know, the point being that we're just going to, you know, we can glue it down and repair it here if we want to. Or we can leave it a tuck. And what I would do in that case is to just, you know, cut this part off. So each one of these envelopes is going to have, you know, some repair to do. Other option is you can actually glue this back if you wanted to, or just don't cut it and then use these as a tuck this way, which would be cool. And so everything doesn't have to be, you know, top loading or anything. So I don't know that I already did this part, but in the meantime, I think what I'm going to do, well, I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put all the envelopes on. You know, the last 3 or 4 envelopes are not going to be decorated, but I can do that later, and then I'll have it, you know, I'll have it for you guys. But basically what I wanted to teach today was to how to put this part together and how to add it to the top of the manila folder. So this one is over here, and this one is over here. Make sure you get them positioned the way you like, and then all right, we move all of this up, move this down, and you can stagger them any way that you want. It's just, I just do it, you know, like a largest to smallest, just because I'm weird that way. But I think this is how I want to have this. And I think I'll just put like some kind of a closure here, probably magnetic. But for now, all I'm going to do is turn this over, make sure these are all staying in place all the way flush with the folds here. And I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing them on. It doesn't have to be the strongest glue in the world right now, because you're actually going to get even more reinforcement when you add this to the manila folder. So I'm just going to glue these down. And I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing them on. It doesn't have to be the strongest glue in the world right now, because and the bigger the flap, the better, really. You know, the more sturdy and secure it will be. So I'm just going to glue these down. So, all right. So now we have this. And so we can go ahead and just close that up. And the way this is going to be added, this top closure will need to be open. And just for the sake of not making this awkward, I'm going to go ahead and just close that up. And the way this is going to be added, open this thing, and then I believe I'm going to make this bottom piece right here, this one with the hearts, flush with the top. Okay. And so let me turn it sideways so I can make sure to have the best, oops, ability to get that glued. And today I'm just using a Yoo-hoo stick, but I am going to use something else as well that Melissa suggested for me that I am absolutely loving. Okay, so we want this to be flush with the top. Pretty much. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to have these edges where this is going to look like it's going to come up. So this is where, actually, Michelle didn't tell me about the Yoo-hoo stick. She told me about this nori paste, which I absolutely love. I don't know what I said before, but whatever it was probably wrong. So let me just correct it and let you know. You know, people have such brilliant ideas. I love being part of this community because everybody is so creative. Okay, so once we get this down here, we're going to want to clip this. And the reason for that, we want to do it really securely. The reason for that is because we actually want it to look like it's all one spine and not too like torn apart, you know.
Okay, so once we get this down here, we're going to want to clip this. And the reason for that, we want to do it really securely. The reason for that is because
these clips are wrinkling
want
it
to look like it's all
okay,
one spine,
so
not too like torn apart, you know. Okay, so once
and there's this one. So
down here, we're going to want to
the next option is going to be to start doing the envelopes, but since we did it last time, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to take care of the little details of this, and I do not see, oh, there it is.
the next option is going to be
I just want to go right down the back edge here,
to start doing the envelopes.
or the,
but since we did it
actually
last
this is the right
time,
edge,
I'm just going to take care of the little details.
and make sure that I've got enough glue on there to actually really stick this down.
I just want to go right down the edge here.
And let's see.
Actually, this is the right edge. I'm just going to take care of those and make sure that I've got enough glue on
Let me
there
pull
to
these out a
actually
little bit.
really stick this down.
So now would be the time to add the magnets in, if that's what you're using. So we'll go ahead and do that. And what I'm using is a set of 2.
So now would be the time to
These, they're so strong. 1 millimeter
the magnets
by
in,
10
that's what we're
millimeters.
using. So we'll go ahead and
Just these little flat ones. And so this is 2 together.
a set of
So what I really want to do here is I want to take this bottom one.
they're so strong.
Oops,
1
let me
millimeter.
make sure. Okay. I want to take this bottom one. I want to turn it over, and I want to add some nori glue here. And this is going to be a little bit tricky, but this is a really good time to do it before you've decorated and everything. So I am going to put this.
I want to take this bottom one. I want to turn it over, and I want to add some nori glue.
Oh,
And
I can't remember now.
A little bit
Okay,
tricky, but this
so
is
it's
a really
this
good time
side.
to do it before you
And I'm going to shoot more for right around here. Kind of want to just put a big glob of nori paste there. I'm going to set this all the way over here and try to catch it.
I'm going to shoot more for right around.
And you can kind of see the little indent there. And what I'm going to want to do is just add some paper on that side, really, just because we don't want it to be able to come up real easily.
And you can kind of see the little indent there. And what I'm going to want to do is just add some paper on that
Oh,
side.
I guess I
really,
cut 2.
just because
So I'm
we don't
going to
want
just
it
put, you can use cardstock if you want. I'm just using regular paper, but whatever you do, make sure that your glue goes all the way to the ends, because you want it to cover and to be completely glued down to the inside of this. So,
I'm
uh-oh,
going
now
to
what?
just put, you can use cardstock if you want. I'm just
Goodness.
using regular paper, but whatever you do, make sure that your glue goes
It
all the way
fell off.
to the end.
Well, this should help
because
too. So let's just do it this way,
You
actually.
want it to cover and to be completely glued down to the inside of this. So,
Okay, I got a lot of moving parts here. So the way this is going to go is, so it sticks on this side. I should probably just mark that.
this should help too. So let's just do it this way.
Sticks on this side, so it needs to be facing this side because, let's see, yeah, no. Actually, let's turn it this way. And then I'm going to put it right inside of here, and it should finally work. I'm going to have a problem though, because there is some glue on the inside of this envelope, but we'll just pretend that's not happening. All right, so now we have our magnet, our first one, and then we're going to put the other one, we're going to put the other one on right here onto the outside, so that we can put a little bit of glue on the inside of this envelope, but we'll just pretend that's not happening. And put this over here on this side. And now I know that where that circle of glue is, I'm not sure if you can see that, that's where I'm going to add this. And then the next thing is I'm going to just do the same on this side. And this can all be covered, so it doesn't really matter if you just use like a piece of scrap paper or what, but all we want to do is just hold it in place. Doesn't have to look perfect or anything either. Let me make sure we've got this positioned correctly. Go down a little bit. Okay. Feels like it might still be off a little, so doesn't have to look perfect, but I think we're okay. Let me make sure we've got this positioned correctly. Okay, so it should be 2.5. Feels like it might still be off. Plus 1/8, which it is. So that should be just about right there. So what we've ended up with is a cover that opens to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, and then so that should be just about right there. We will have, you know, a pretty page, and we can decorate all of this, which I will during the next week. I'll decorate all of these, and then we'll move on to some other things. I think it'll actually be done after that, but we can take another week to embellish. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. I'm really sorry I was late again. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And don't forget to sign up for junkjournalretreat.com. And if you want to hang out with me more closely, you can join my Patreon. You can do that for free. And that's at patreon.com/junkjournalboss, or you can just search at junkjournalboss on Patreon. And you can actually search at Junk Journal Boss everywhere. And that goes for Twitch, which is coming up next in about 5 minutes. So head over to twitch.tv, do a search for at Junk Journal Boss, and I'll see you then. Bye. On Patreon, and you can actually search at Junk Journal Boss everywhere, and that goes do a search for at Junk Journal Boss, and I'll see you then.